Hi, welcome back to the Kitchen Table Models Workshop. Quick update on the Takom AH64D Apache Longbow build. Oh goodness me, that's all I can say to start with. I do appreciate there's been a significant gap between where we left off and where I'm at now, and I haven't actually done, well, I've done a lot, but I haven't gotten very far. And the biggest problem and bugbear I have had is with the decals for this kit. Oh my lord, they are atrocious. There's really nothing that can be said about them. They're matte and they're printed well, but they're matte. The carrier film they're printed on is like they're printed on sellotape nearly. It's so thick, and that's what's been holding me up. I have been battling with these decals to get them down and get them to conform over the beautiful surface detail, and they were beating me there for a point, and to some extent some of them have beaten me in that I cannot get them to sit very well over the rivet details. And I have used everything in the arsenal to get them to lay down, but I'm at a point now where I'm going to call it quits on the decaling. I've got all the decals down. They're all on the airframe. They're as good as they're going to get. And this is a warts and all build, so I'm not going to waste any more time on it. What I will do is show you the kit after decaling, and then we can think about actually getting on and weathering up this airframe and getting it completed, because I want this build gone off my bench. It's gone on far too long, and it's pretty much driven me crazy with fighting with these decals. So anyway, let's get the camera on the bench and we can have a closer look at the airframe, and we can look at some of the solutions I've been using to try and get these decals to conform. Right, there is the offending article. My lord, have I just been absolutely at the point of despair with this kit. There has been a few challenges with the build and I've covered them so far, but my goodness me, the decals are horrendous. But they are down. Now, if we can zoom in and get there, you can literally see the decal and the carrier film. That's not silvering, but that's had everything thrown at it. And you've got some larger decals. There you can see they stand out like a sore thumb due to the carrier film and the thickness of it. We've got the numbering on the tail. I think you can see a little bit of silvering in that one, but I cannot get that to conform. Funnily enough, the shark's mouth laid down okay, but then that's a non-transparent decal, so you're never going to get silvering through it. This decal here, if I can zoom in, let me just get that and hold it in a position I'm not going to destroy it. So let's zoom in here. Okay, you can see that decaling. There is a ton of silver in amongst that, and I've hit that with everything possible, absolutely everything. And if we look on the other side, again, the big United States Army, there's a little bit of silver in, but you can just see the decal with the thickness of the carrier film. We've got the identifiers for the steps here, again silvering. That decal's had everything thrown at it. Got a little bit of lifting on the back of this decal. I can get it to phone, I'll just zoom out a fraction to make it easier for the there we go. Yeah, if you can see that with the reflection, there's a little bit of bubble in there, and I've chucked everything I can at that. And again, I've got the decal there. So, very frustrating. There is decals on the underside, but not too many, thankfully. They've gone down not too bad. So what have I used to try and beat these decals into submission? Well, I started out using the standard microset and microsol. And then I started using neat Tamiya X20A as a solvent to dissolve them, and then finally I bought some Mr. Mark Softer and Mark Setter. And for the really stubborn decals, of which there's a few, I even used very, very sparingly some Tamiya Extra Thin. So there we go. There is my arsenal of solvents tried to use to get these decals to conform, and my lord was it hard. But I've gotten this far, so I am quite happy with that. The only decals that really concern me now are the white line decals that go around the edge of the canopies. So we're just going to have to see how they work. And if they destroy the kit, then it will go in the bin, because it's tested me all the way possible. Which would be a shame, because it's actually a really, really impressive model. I have done the rotor blades. They're in the cupboard. I'll not bother getting them out now. And I had the same problem with the decals on those rotors. That might have been partially due to me, because I just painted them in matte, didn't bother giving them a semi-gloss or a gloss coat. And I think the paint finish, these decals just struggled with it. So I fought them all the way. Anyhow, we are where we are. We've gotten this far. We're going to get this finished. So over the next coming weeks, I'm going to do some weathering on this. So we'll do a bit of oil fading to complement the fading we put in with the paint. Obviously we want a pin wash, and it'll be a real dark pin wash so we can pick out the panel lines, give them a highlight, because it's obviously overall dark finish on this aircraft. And then we'll want to use some pigments and some sprayed neat matte colour for the rotor wash, exhaust staining, and general dust and detritus that these things tend to attract on themselves as they come in at land, blowing up all the dust as they do. So I'm really hopeful that this aircraft is going to be finished by the end of February, and then put in the cupboard and forgotten about. I do have the UK version of this kit, but I am thinking I'm not going to build that kit until or unless I can get some decent decals for it, because it's just an absolute pain in the hoop that you can't just put these decals down like most ordinary modern kits. They go down, a couple of nights, your decaling session's done, and then you move on. This has been weeks I've been picking at these decals, and it's just driven me around the twist. So this is the huge issue that everyone goes on about this kit. It is a factual issue. The decals are a nightmare. If you persevere at them, you can get them to go down. They really aren't that bad on this kit now, and I may be able to get rid of the last few bits of silvering. But if you're doing the US ones, I know there are aftermarket decals for them. I would just go and get a set of decals, save yourself the heartache, and then the kit then becomes a little bit more expensive, but it also becomes a whole heap more enjoyable. And it's a beautiful kit. The detail is fantastic. There's no getting away from that. So on that regard, for a 35th scale Apache, other as the men kit, there's no other options. And it's a beautiful kit. So you take your time and do your build work properly, you're going to get a cracking kit. Just don't use their decals. Just get different decals. So I'm not going to waffle on anymore. That's where we're at. So look for the build over the coming weeks. We're going to get this pushed over the finish line, and then we're going to move on to something completely different. But hopefully you guys will all be interested to see how we do with that. So until next time, happy modelling, stay safe. If you want to like and subscribe, please hit the necessary buttons, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, bye.